Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. Today's content is an analysis of the previous day's um, slow game that we did yesterday for the channel. And this, it was an absolutely insane game, back and forth. And I should have resigned, um, or I should have been forced to resign, but my opponent kind of allowed me back in, and yeah, it was crazy. I couldn't let this one go, and I just wanted to relive it again. I played knight f6, they played the London, and I played my standard stuff, my opening. So basically, I wanted to keep um, my pieces pointing at e4. h3, odd move. It does not it does not um, it's not a game loser for sure. It's it doesn't really improve position, but it doesn't hurt it either. But now I'm ahead in development. That's probably uh, the worst thing that it does. Um, and also there's not that many games in H3. Yeah, only 3% of all players would play this. Yeah, knight f3 being the more um, popular choice. Knight f3, d6. I think a lot of London players, they get scared of knight here, and so they can bring their stuff back. But the point is not to do that though. Um, London players usually get challenged on this diagonal, and we can do that with our bishop. So play might normally go like this, but now that black is challenging, white usually will go here. But since we played h3, we can't really go back anymore. We can't really go back to g3 and keep the tension. So even going all the way back, suddenly we're moving pieces back. And now we've played two moves with this knight instead of just one. And we're probably going to need to move it back. So we probably need to move it 3 times. So probably the best idea is just bishop g5 and just let black have this. So that's why h3 is not so common to at all. I played this way. I was planning on just slowly increasing my presence in the center this way. For example, knight bd2, knight d7, bishop d3, bishop e7, castle, castle, and after something like e4, now we'll strike with c5. Another kind of idea here is to, what was my idea? Oh, another good idea. Now that white has moved his knight to f3, we can just play knight e4. And after bishop d3, we can actually leave this here since this is now being supported. Now after knight bd2, f5. So the difference between this game and this position and my game is the e-pawn is supported, whereas in the main game, the e-pawn was being attacked because it had become a weakness. So I played this way. So I switched plans in the middle when I should have just committed to one plan to begin with. Knight bd2 here, and then I really just misjudged this position here, because here I'm just losing a pawn, most likely. And then I thought for several minutes and thought, e5 might actually be okay here, because now this bishop is overloaded, basically defending this knight and under attack by this pawn at the same time. But my opponent found a really good move here. Oh wait, he didn't play that. Uh-oh. Back. Knight e6, queen d6. Notice I was going to play this, but after here I can no longer take back, and he just takes the pawn. Or even better. Nah, this is better because of queen h5. Yeah, even here, yeah. Then he loses the bishop. So yeah, that ain't gonna fly. So maybe something like this. And then I still have a lot of trouble with getting my pieces out, and I'm likely going to reroute my knight this way. And then try to go castle this way. And yeah, my pieces are just very awkward, but I do have a pawn that's in the center taking space. So that's a big plus for me. So I thought queen d6 was better after much thought and deliberation. Queen h5. The problem here is that we're, I think, about to lose material once again. And now, uh-oh, king and rook are now attacked. So that was what I saw in the game. So king e7. Was there another choice? We might have been able to do this, but after capture, and then like castle, our king is caught in the middle with on the same file as our queen, and this is now a threat. Even if I flee, this is still really huge for white. And so, yeah, I would be close to busted here. So I played king e7 so I could avoid losing. Knight here. And I suddenly figured out that I had to play this, because after here, knight here, or no, after castle, knight d7. This is really bad. We get caught pretty quick, even after king c8. We're still getting caught here, even if we defend over here. We still are going to, yeah, this is really hard to defend. We can't capture here because of the checkmate, and so we would need to move our bishop, and then maybe we're surviving here, maybe not. It's really tough. I wasn't really too confident about defending this with so many inactive pieces that I'm pretty sure I'm just busted after rook d2 and rook d1. Yeah, thought I was for sure. So I decided on g6 after much thought and deliberation. Queen here, queen f6, just trying to break the mold here. I still can't really trade here or capture here because of knight with a discovered check. Yeah, this is gross, and I can't really block, and I can't block, So I played queen f6, moved his bishop, and then I was sitting here like, okay, I have a bad position. What do I even do? My pieces are all inactive, and I'm like, ugh, crap. I have to now develop. And stuff like h6 isn't going to win a piece at all anymore because this queen is now defended. So yeah, bishop g3 was quite good. Knight d7, castle queenside. He's mobilizing the rest of his army. And I'm just mobilizing mine. If I had to replay this again, I would play this move. But I saw this. King e6. Here, and this guy's under attack. So g3 here, and then f4 defends, because after here, everything's defended, and our king is caught in the middle of the board, and we're about to get checkmated. Actually, we may already be checkmated here. Yes. It's a silly checkmate right there. So yeah, our king safety is just really bad. So I decided knight c5, just trying to create a defensive structure. What else? So how does white win this game? All of his pieces are just better. How does white actually win? I think he played the right way to attempt to win. I was just good enough to challenge my opponent playing h6. He skewered me, and then I traded a rook for the knight here. I don't really have any counterplay. I'm just down in exchange, and all these pawns are weak, and I'm just going to have to try to do something. I played rook e8. I think this is a lot better because this pawn is toast, and I'd have to give up even more material. If I had to play it again, I would play... No, I don't think I can actually keep this pawn. It actually kind of sucks. I didn't even notice that I couldn't actually keep that pawn unless somehow white really bungled this up. He doesn't play knight e5, he plays bishop back, and then I play here just to try to make my knights look scary. He wastes another move attacking a pawn that's already defended, and so I make a decision here to exchange my bad bishop for a good bishop, so that maybe I can do something. Okay, now he's threatening here. So I played here just to threaten this horse. It's kind of debatable. I could have actually trapped his horse here if he had gone this route, but I went this route instead. Knight went back, and then I went this way 2 squares from the horse, so basically if you're 2 squares diagonally from the horse or from a knight, the horse cannot check your king. So I went for this pattern, rook d2, knight here, and then I create a defensive structure. So it's all about, when you're losing, it's all about just creating defensive structures with the pieces that you do have, and then hoping your opponent can't break through. b3, rook f1, just trying to put a rook on an open file. It's a semi-open file because there's a pawn on there, but this is my best square, and it doesn't do any good to be on this file because white is already there with superior force. I went ahead and did just to look scary. My opponent thought I looked really scary, so he actually played against my bishop here, but I think that he could have played this. And then, wait, no, he couldn't have. This, this. Yes, he could have, because this guy is now under attack. Attack. Oh, whoops. I forgot about this knight here. Uh-oh, go back. Well, good thing my opponent didn't see rook d5. Um, play might have gone. Not actually too sure. Maybe c4 now. Go back and then he wins my pawn over here somehow. Maybe he just exchanges my pieces even more. It's probably the best idea. Yeah, so I think my opponent missed an opportunity there. If I had to do this again, I don't know. Maybe I would have just rook lifted and try to get something going. And moves like g4 just only benefit me. Maybe. But I would have had to really think here. c4, bishop e7, king here. Yeah, I thought this a3 move was good in the game, but then I realized that their king is on an unfortunate square, and I had forgotten completely that the king was on a bad square and that I could fork these. I didn't expect this move, so I just captured it. I'm kind of forced to. He captured with and now has a passed pawn, and then this allowed me to play knight c4, which got me back into the game. So basically, I provided just enough resistance and put enough pressure on my opponent to finally have him make a mistake. Capture, capture, and now I'm back in. Notice that my opponent has no infiltration squares, but I do need to keep this king out of c4, so I played bishop d5, and my plan is now rook here to here to here. The best imbalance that I have is the bishop versus knight imbalance. The white knight is super bad on h2, really, really bad on h2. And my opponent was just trying to reroute the horse basically the whole game. It's going to take several moves to reroute that horse. So I was able to come up with a plan in time. Notice that my rook is more active than the opponent's rook too. I am attacking with a rook, whereas white is defending. And rooks are excellent attackers. They pick off weaknesses, but they're terrible defenders. So seeing a rook like this stuck at home was really encouraging to me. Knight g3, just trying to go back. Rook a4, king b2, defending the pawn. Rook a6. This is probably a bit more accurate. And this way I can get to this square or this square, depending on the position. But I chose this. I don't really know why. Knight here, rook here, check, king there. I think I was running out of time at this point, and I needed to play a rook move. Yeah, and then I decided to capture. He tried to defend, but this allowed another tactic where I won a pawn. And now I'm actually ahead material rather than down. But the position is probably still even Steven, because Um, my pawns are so bad. These are just isolated pawn islands that are quite easy to pick off. And he played the right move, knight c3. And I think that he should have just played here, here. Oh, never mind. Never mind, never mind. I'm just winning here. Because he doesn't have any moves. He just does this. I play a pawn move. Or even... He's not forced to do that. He could play g3. Here, and then I have to do something. And yeah, I'm winning here. For sure. So he can't actually trade here. I get rid of one of my weak pawns, and my plan was to eat the enemy weakness. I realize I can't keep him out of here anymore, so we trade weaknesses here. A little debatable if I could have done this. No, actually I can't do that because this pawn is running, and I don't have my king is on the other side of the board. So I just played king g2, captured. I went back. He captured my pawn, and now we're at 2 pawns to 2 pawns. And bishop versus knight. This should still be very much a draw here. But I'm just pushing the pawn of the last favorable imbalance that I have, and here was the ultimate position. Whereas afterwards, after consulting the machine, I was winning in all lines here, or I think I was winning in all lines. Actually, let's do multiple lines. Yeah, I think I was winning. Yeah, I was winning like completely across the board. I just didn't really realize it. I thought it was still close because I had to calculate like all the knight maneuvers that might stop this pawn. So it took a while to figure all that out. A6, bishop a6, and the point is that my opponent doesn't have time to take back. So instead of taking back, the way to try to get a draw out of this is to to just take my pawn instead of my bishop, which seems a bit counterintuitive, but here we are. Cap here, and then here would have drawn the game. If I had tried that way, yeah, I don't really have time to do that. I guess we just play like bishop to c4 and just try to keep the knight out of these light squares. Because if he tries to get into these light squares, I just capture, and run with my pawn. So the horse has to go this way. I think we're going to play this way. King here. Here. Yeah, and then, oof. Check. Win. Yeah, super complicated. And you have to, yeah, bishop c4 here is the only move, in fact, that keeps the win alive, which is disgusting. And okay, back to the game. Knight a6, g3, just doing the only imbalance I have left. And I play king here. I think king here also works. Kind of like this. but it doesn't matter if there's multiple ways. You just have to find the only way. You just have to find a way to get this pawn to the other side. And then I go here to get rid of the mischievous knight out of both of these squares. And I ended up winning the game, and I'll just keep the position here for our entertainment here. If you liked the commentary, please like and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time.